Hello, everyone. I'm really excited that you are here with me because I spent about 10-15 hours to prepare this presentation to make sure that uh, I'll give you enough. But then I realized I give you too much. There's lots of information. Initially, the presentation meant to be 10-20 minutes, but turns out it's going to be a lecture about an hour or maybe a bit less, but we'll see how it goes. I believe that every single person should see this presentation or should see information inside this presentation because I believe that it concerns every single person. And once you go through it, you will have you will see it from a different perspective, a huge advantage, and a completely different look of yourself. So let's start. So let's start from the beginning. All right. So my presentation today is about how not to take things personally. Why? Because every single person does that. We are taking things personally. And we need to realize that by doing so, we are taking a huge chunk of our time and energy consuming into feel the emotion that we don't really want to feel. And if you don't understand it right now, if you won't change it, and you won't have any tools to do it, to change your state, to change how you see the world, that will highly affect your life, your choices, your emotions, the time and energy, and you will wake up 10, 20, 30 years later on with huge regrets that you did that, although you could potentially have peaceful life. Because to be honest, who if I ask you who would like to have a peaceful and joyful life, I guess everyone would raise their hands, right? But most of people are not. Most of you are too much, they invest too much into their own self and into their own let's say ego, and they don't want to see the world the way it is, and they fight against the reality. And if you fight against the reality, you start to take things personally, and if you start to take things personally, it highly affects your emotions. I will be explaining that to you, everything. So, and how not to take things personally, or at least step by step take things less and less personal, so you will get the control over the situation. First of all, what you need to understand is that every single situation generate the thought, and every single thought generate emotion that it either generate behavior, action that provide the results. And I know at the moment it's like, okay, you give me that, cool, but what's the point? So I'm going to explain that to you in the next example, right? But you have to be very clear with that. The thoughts generate emotions, and emotion generate behavior, and that's what you should get from this, all right? So what is taking things personally? It's creating a story around specific situation which revolves almost entirely around ourselves. As a consequence, we feel insulted, offended, inadequate, angry, and resentful. And I'm pretty sure you know many people like this who are looking for any excuse to be offended, who are trying to, talk to people and argue with them, and they have the right to feel angry because you don't share the views and I share, and so on. And you probably know plenty of people like this. However, if you're fully honest with yourself, you probably can tell that you are as well um, behave this way, in a certain way. Maybe not all the time, but you are taking things personally to you. But with this whole definition of it, you need to realize what is the crucial words. Create a story. All right. So remember when I told you that situations create the thoughts, emotion, and then the behavior. Um, it's the story that you tell yourself will have a significant impact on how you react and how you feel. Okay, because remember, it's not about what's happening to you; it's all about how you react to what's happening to you. And in order for you to have a better picture of what I'm saying to you, let's give you an example. Imagine you drive a car and there's a car passing you by and he cuts you off. You have to hit the brakes and you almost get into an accident. Now, the whole situation was meaningless. Now, what give the meaning is what you give the meaning of the situation. So you are creating the story for it. And let's assume two different scenarios, right? In scenarios number one, which most people would think that, people think, what a fucking jerk, what an asshole, I hope they catch you, bastard, you know? And then with this thought, what a jerk, comes emotion. What a jerk, anger. I'm angry, I'm resentful, I'm frustrated, you did that to me, how dare you? So again, as you can tell, situation, somebody pass you by, cut you off, your thought, what a jerk, generate emotion, anger. But what if we reverse it back? What if you do that? If somebody did that, and your thoughts will be, holy shit, I'm so glad I'm alive, I could die. Then what kind of emotions would you feel? Because the situation is the same, but your thought is different this time. Rather than you think about what a jerk and get anger, now you say, holy crap, I'm alive, you know, I could die, and you get a different emotion, you get fear. So all out of different thoughts, although the situation is the same, you have different thoughts and you have completely different emotions. And what we need to realize is that we have we are experiencing those kind of situations which I said, which I show you right now, on a daily basis. Some of them are obvious, but some are they not, and they steal both time and energy from you. And that's the most important resources that you ever can have, because if you're young, you have plenty of energy, and once you get older, with each year you'll feel less and less energy, right? Maybe of course it gets to a point when you're like 40 and you still feel energetic and stuff, but it's not the same as you're 20, right? And then once you get 70, 80, you feel less and less energy, because we have only so much energy that we can give and we can generate. So this is resources that we need to take care, and we need to make sure that we are very thoughtful and very careful with it, how we spend it. And the other thing is time, because of course you can always earn money, you can always, I don't know, inherit something or win a lottery, whatever. You can work really hard on your business and get more money. However, you cannot take your time back. So imagine the situation that you have this situation in your life. Somebody cut you off, you hit the brakes, you're angry, and you keep this anger towards yourself, and you drive to work another 10-20 minutes thinking, what a fucking jerk, how dare he did it. And you have those thoughts of what would you do if you could have a power, absolute power. And you dive into this emotion, dive into it, and you're like, so you constantly are in this emotion. You didn't get through it, you didn't like let it go, you are in it, you take things personally. What a fucking asshole, he should have more respect to me, he should go to jail, he should blah blah blah. And you carry it on to work, and then what, you're gonna text to your colleagues about it, and you're talking to them, and you know you re-experience this situation over and over again, until you become more and more resentful, more and more angry. Then you build up the story even more. Then you calling your wife or your husband, you're telling them that to them, you're coming back home saying, I have such an awful work day at work, some asshole cut me off, I always have an accident, what an irresponsible brat, whatever. And you keep having this mood, and let's say you sacrifice half of the day, think about it, that's all this energy you could sacrifice to help others, or focus on something that builds you up and make you feel happy and make you feel peaceful. You couldn't, because this anger, you dive into this anger so badly that you lost your perspective. Because if I ask you right now, do you want to feel joyful and peaceful, you say, fuck yeah, I want to be peaceful all the time. But if you are dive into emotions, sometimes you don't see it, and you wake up like at night saying like, this day was bad, but you don't realize that it was bad because you hold on to the emotions. You might as well just take this anger, like, okay, he was an asshole, it's not concerning me, I'm glad I'm alive, let's go. And you can go on with your day, but you didn't. You keep this anger, and you keep these emotions, and imagine how much hours you are losing this way. Think about it. Let's say you're 30, and I assume that we have 70 years more to live. Probably you have less. I mean, depends how old are you, but probably you have less. No, we don't know what's going to happen. You have very specific amount of time. Okay, we've got 840 months left, 25,000 days. 613,000 hours, 36 million minutes. And I know it seems a ridiculous number, but it is not infinite. You will come to an end. And that's only assuming that you will survive to 100 years. You might die earlier, you might have a disease, something might hit you, whatever. Yeah. So every single moment is so precious, but we don't realize our brain has shielded us. Don't want to think about death, because it's not a nice concept, is it? That we're gonna die. How dare you say I'm going to die? So very important to understand, guys. Again, the situation create the thoughts, and the thoughts emotions, and then they create behavior. Once you see it, now you know how you have a choice, because the situation itself is meaningless. The situation has built no meaning apart from the meaning that you give to the situation. And it is your choice of how you see and how you view the situation. Sometimes it's not up to you. Sometimes because you've been conditioned this way, and you've been conditioned throughout your life when you were a child, and just it trigger you. Yeah. But sometimes, but choice of being in these emotions, dive into it and not go from it, it's your choice. So let's move on. So why do I take everything personally? And it is because of the ego. And I know you probably had lots of concepts about it. I've had about it for like 10 years ago, I think. And I didn't really fully realize what's going on here. I really said like, okay, ego is like, I've heard about it, I don't care about it. And I didn't know how important is to understand this concept of ego. Because the ego is the version of yourself, is the vision of yourself, is I am, it's me. It's something that help you to have this consciousness and have that you are separate from other people. And why I think take things personally, there's lots of things to it. However, the main, I would say there is that the things are not the way you want it, that you want to be right. And if you want to find out more information about, how to deal with I need to be right, you can watch my previous presentation about it. There's lack of confidence. Now I'm going to speak about it in more details. And there's lack of perspective as well. And let's start with the perspective, okay? Because our beliefs, our ego said to us, I am in the center of the world. This is me. It's I am. I mean, think about how much you think about yourself during the day. Probably 99% of the time. Sometimes you think about your friends, sometimes about your family, but not really as much. You mostly focus on yourself. I am in the center of the universe. And I want to show you how small are we compared to the universe and how insignificant we are. And think about it this way. If I say, compared to universe, you're insignificant, how do you feel? Your ego is automatically, how dare you? That's not nice feeling. I don't like it. What do you mean I'm insignificant? I am the one, right? But when we think about ourselves, words is against us, words conspire, against us, everyone's against us. But the truth is, you just lost of perspective. You don't see it. You're small. You're insignificant compared to the universe. So let's see it. So this is the picture of a woman and one of the biggest tree on earth. And we're still thinking that we are the center of the universe. That we are the biggest, we're the most important one, right? What about the mountains? How big the mountains are? How huge are they compared to us? What about when you are departing and you fly into the other country? There's more than 1,000 cities with people between 500,000 to 5 million. Our brain, what the numbers I'm going to tell you right now, you probably won't be able to comprehend. You won't, because our brain has special blocks and shields. So I can tell you the numbers, but you'll be like, I don't see it. That's too much. But you still think it's all about me. I am the most important part. But what about the others 8 billion of people? And now, this is the presentation from how the universe is way bigger than you think. I recommend you to watch it to realize that, we are not as big, but this is going to be a short demo of this, right? So the distance between Earth and the moon is, you can literally put 30 Earths to it. That's how many of them it is, right? That's what, almost 400,000 kilometers away. And again, these numbers are slowly like, I don't understand that. So to put it into perspective, if you would drive a car 100 kilometers per hour, you will need 160 days to travel. That's how big the distance from Earth to Moon is. And you think about it, it just blowing your mind. And there's more and more facts saying like how small are we, all right? So this is the view from Mars. This is the Earth. How small we are. This is the Earth. Mars is the next planet next to us, right? Look how small we are from the view of Mars. And if you meant to send a message from Earth to Mars or Mars to Earth, considering that it will go through the speed of light, which is 300,000 miles per hour, which is, again, we can't comprehend that. That means that you will need 20 minutes to get the message. So imagine you have a phone on here and on Mars, 20 minutes to get the message, you know? Now, this is the Voyager 1 space probe, and this is the photo of him being 138 is astronomical units from Earth. So basically, astronomical unit is like being from Earth to the sun, and this is how far it is. So it's quite far away. This is the photo of him make about, it is a photo of Earth that he make. This is how small, again, it is. But the thing is, this is our solar system, and again, I want you to understand how small are we. This is the our solar system, and if this Voyager is driving or riding, whatever, 17 kilometers per second, 17 kilometers per second, then he needs 30,000 years to leave our solar system. This is how big it is, but that's not the end. We can't comprehend it again. So our solar system have more of those systems, and it's called interstellar, right? And that'll go even further down. So this is our galaxy here. This galaxy of ours, the Milky Way, have more galaxies. So there's local group of galaxies which have more galaxies like this. And those group of galaxies have 100 other group of galaxies that are called Virgo supercluster, whatever. And even that huge monster have been, and contain 100,000 other galaxies. And then compared to the whole universe is 2 trillion galaxies, which is this number. I have no idea even how to tell. This is the observable universe, how much we can know about it so far. So as you can tell, it is incomprehensible how small are we. There's more stars in the whole universe than there is grains on the sun in Earth. So to put it into perspective, we think that we're in the center of the universe, but in fact we are small. So it's time to stop taking things personally, because it's not about you. So what's happening there? What's happening with your ego? So you were influenced from the beginning. Your ego, your vision of yourself, your version of yourself was influenced by geography, religious belief, your ancestor, the color of your skin, the shape of your eyes, the political orientation of your parents, your size, your gender, the school that you're selected for you. Those all are the label that your ego is like to think about, themselves. You're separate from others. You're male or you're female, you're Polish, you're English, you're Muslim, you're Christian, and you like to put those labels on yourselves. And every single things like that, that's only a few of them. All those labels are attachments, and those attachments will lead to your unhappiness. Think and read about this statement. Your attachments are the source of all your problems. They need to be right, to possess someone or something, to win at all costs, to be viewed as a superior, these are all attachments. And to release those attachments, you have to make shift in how you view yourself. If your primary identification is with your body and your possession, your ego is dominant force in your life. If you can tame your ego sufficiently, you will call upon your spirits to be the guiding force in your life, which means that most of us are speaking through ego, through separateness. I'm the best, I'm the one. And in order for you to not to be possessed by it, you need to change and shift and start to realize what your ego is, start to realize what your beliefs are, what kind of masks you are putting on, what your labels are, and start to detach yourself from it. Because think about this way, we all want to be joyful and peaceful, right? Peaceful, I'm saying, I think, is the most important part. You don't want to feel those negative low vibration energies of anger, resentment, sadness, and so on. So look at this example. It's from one of my books. I'll show you later. So you suppose you have a choice between different wants. With want A, you can have physically anything you want simply by waving it. But with want B, you can have a sense of peace regardless of what happened to your life. And which want would you pick? A guarantee of stuff or inner peace for the remainder of your life? If you opt for peace, then you already have want B. Simply have a mind that is open to everything but attached to nothing. Let it all come and go as it will. Enjoy it all, but never make your happiness or success depend on attachment to anything, any place, and particularly any person. Because those attachments will constantly bring you down, because you constantly talking through your ego. So the best way that you can do it is to release those attachments and make yourself a decision that you will never allow others to affect the way how you feel. No place, no thing, no person, no situation. If you would like to, but again, it's easy to say. It's harder to implement it into your real life. And if you want to implement it, I really recommend this book, The Secret Success for the 10 Secrets of Success and Inner Peace by Dr. Wayne Dyer. The book is about 200 pages, very small, but it is so powerful, you have no idea. It has completely changed the way how I look at the world and how much peace I feel. And by implementing more and more advice, I just step on the next level. So try it. If that resonates with you, do it. If not, let's go and let's move on. So sometimes you need to realize that it's not about you. Imagine you are in the office and you have your friend, colleague that's working with you. And usually she's happy, smiling, very responsive. You have a jokes, you have a banter, and everything's fine. But one day you come to the office and she's like this. She have a poker face. And you want to speak to her, but she doesn't really like respond to you much. So you kind of like leave her alone and you ignore her. But then in your head, you're thinking, have I done something wrong? Have I said something that offend her? Have I not, finished a task that I should done? What's going on? Why she's not that responsive? Maybe she doesn't like me anymore. Maybe she think I'm not a nice person. Maybe she doesn't want to be around me. And then what's happening? That instead of asking for a solution, asking question, hey, are you right? Is everything okay? You're trying to predict what's in other person's head. You assume that you know what is in their head, and you make a conclusion, and you're creating the stories about the situation rather than being, transparent. Just say, hey, what's up? You prefer to create the stories because that's easier, but you never know what's going to happen to the person. So it might be not about you. It might be because her somebody close to her died, or she just had an argument with her boyfriend, or she doesn't feel well, she's on period, I don't know, whatever. But it might be not about you, but you take it as it is about you because she doesn't respond to you. So you might think she doesn't like him anymore. So stop assuming things that you know, and just be transparent. Ask, and that will take away lots of stress from your life. Now, do you remember, when where you went at the prom, and you spent all the evening trying to make sure that you are looking the best? I'm talking to girls now. Yeah, you looking amazing, look sparkle. You put the best dress, you put the best makeup on, you're going on, and you go in the party, and there's a person who will say, oh my god, why are you so short? What's going on? Like, Jesus Christ, it doesn't suit you whatsoever. Like, what about this? What is this dress and this back? What is this? Like, you have completely no style whatsoever. What that cheeks are? Oh, you're so fat. Oh my goodness. Every single comment that somebody will tell to you will drastically change the way how you feel, and might have an impact on of the way how you feel the rest of your evening. So maybe it happened to you, maybe it happened to your friend, or maybe um, it's just a good example to give. I'm not sure, but the thing is, you allow this person to affect the way how you feel, and let's assume you took it and you take this personally and you say like, how, oh my god, he said I'm ugly, maybe I am looking ugly, and then all your insecurities start to kick in, and you allow this person to feel to change the way how you feel. And people will be always talking. So do you want to really allow, and do you really value opinion of other person more than you value opinion of yourself? If you know inside that you try to put the best dress and put the best makeup and spend lots of time just to prepare yourself for it, you know you should have enough confidence, and enough self-respect, and I would say confidence is a good word, that it will shield you from this opinion of others, because people will talk, but the thing is, it's not about you. If you come across somebody who's really angry and negative towards you, the best way to deal with them, the best way of dealing with those kind of toxic people, is just have an empathy. That's what Gary Vee is saying. It's like, think about what this person really feel inside. What you accumulate is what you give. You can't give what you don't have. Therefore, if somebody give you venom, anger, being nasty to you, he want your day to be shit. Imagine how much negative and upsetting emotion he feels inside. That's sad. I mean, if you would be a happy person, I guess you would share your happiness and your the positive feelings you feel. If you feel shit, you will be angry and nasty towards everyone. Just try to understand this as well. It's not about you. It's about other people, how they feel, how they view. So don't take it personally, because what's the point? There's a saying. There was master who was teaching his point of view, let's say, and there was a guy who was constantly offending him, and this master was constantly peaceful and didn't really bother about this person. And his students come and ask him like, why you not bother, why you allow him to offend you so much? And he said to him, if somebody offer you a gift and you do not accept the gift, to whom the gift belong? The answer is obvious: to the person that give you the gift, because you didn't accept it. So if somebody put venom, anger, and all those kind of negative emotions to you, but you don't accept it, it's like, hey bro, it's not me, this is your anger, this is your negative emotions, I feel amazing, I look good, I'm happy about myself, then you don't accept this gift, and this gift stay with the other person. So don't take the gifts you don't want to have. And the other thing that might help you out with it is this: don't take anything personally. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. Their point of view and opinion come from all the programming they have received growing up, all the labels, all the masks they put on. When you take things personally, you feel offended, and your reaction is to defend your beliefs and create a conflict. You make something big out of something so little because you have the need to be right and make everybody else wrong. And again, it's hard to just hear about it and just apply it to your life. So start to educate yourself, start to do steps such as reading books and watching the different maybe YouTube videos with people who know what they talk about. Maybe listen to some audiobooks. Maybe try to go inside your head and find out what are your beliefs and what's going on there. Maybe go to specialists who help you out to deal with your problems, because there are people who are willing to help you and they are really good at with what they're doing. So seek for help, look for help, because that affects your life. And the priority is to be able to change the way how you feel. Because if you will keep holding on those negative thoughts, you'll be constantly feel like shit. You won't be peaceful, never. So read this book, The Four Agreements, Atomic Wisdom book by Don Michael Ruiz. I really found it very useful. So yeah, go for it. And this is the thing. We all know the Kobe Bryant and Chadwick Boseman, and they both die. Kobe Bryant, helicopter crash, really tragic death. Chadwick Boseman, he lost cancer fight, unluckily, and they both died. And the question is, how long have you think about them? Maybe for a week or two about Kobe Bryant, maybe a couple of days about Chadwick Boseman, and then you move on with your life. Because guess what? That's what Eleanor Roosevelt says. You wouldn't worry so much about what other people think if you realize how seldom they do. Take one of the biggest stars in the world, Michael Jackson. How often think about him? Maybe when you put the music on, or when you have a topic about him or music whatsoever, but you don't think about this person. So if you think that such a huge stars, died, and they have such a significant impact for other people, and those people still don't think about them as much because everyone has own life and everyone is focused on me. Most people are ego-centered. Me. I, my needs, me first. So if you know about it, how people seldom think about you, guess what? You get to the prom, somebody say you nasty comments, and then guess what? He walk away, and the next thing you won't even remember, you won't even think about it twice, but you will take it personally for the whole evening, and you'll be upset about it. You'll be crying under the table that you're so ugly, because you allow this person who will never even be thinking about the situation again to take control over your day. That sounds stupid? So you wouldn't worry so much about what other thinks of you if you realize how seldom they do. Put it on the wall, on your phone. Start to ask yourself this. Oh, okay, that's not true. I don't really care about what other people think. For those who not know you, yeah. Moving on, guys. Everyone has a trigger. What in a conversation, especially if that's a relationship, you just hit somebody's trigger. And the person was okay and reasonable, and suddenly he became mad and he started to shout at you and he started to be really nasty to you, and you take it very personally. How dare you? What's happening? What's going on? But in fact, everyone has a trigger. Step back, detach yourself from the situation and analyze it. Maybe you said something that triggered him and he got into rage mode, and it's not that easy to go back from it. Maybe it's worth to hold on with this conversation and talk when the person calms down. And realize that everyone has a trigger, and realize that you have a trigger as well. So finding your triggers, finding your weaknesses, something that make you feel and make you go in berserk, is crucial for you to work on them and fix them in a way that nobody will be able to use them against you. And again, it's not about what you want, it's about what they want. Like, you are not mad at the kid in the shop, crying, I want this toy. You're not mad at it. You're not thinking about yourself, oh, I'm such a horrible parent, because it's not about you. It's about them. It's about what they want. They can't have it, so they try to force to force to change the reality. They want to have this toy, for example, yeah? So it's not about what you want. It's all about what they want, and you can't have you can't change it. It's theirs. So don't take it personally. If you understand those concepts, that will help you out to detach yourself from those situations and become more peaceful every single day. But if it doesn't work, then maybe it is about you. And if it's about you, then hey, let's pop on, let's break it down. What's going on? First of all, start to question your beliefs. Imagine the situation right now. You go into elevator and you say hi, and the person will respond to you. You feel like, oh my God. And then what would be your thought pattern in this situation? If I greet someone, that's your belief, they they have to, or they should greet me back. If they don't return my greeting, they're being disrespectful. If they're being disrespectful, it's because they think I'm worthless, or I'm not worthy of the respect. If people think I'm not worthy of the respect, then they might think I'm worthless. If people think I'm worthless, then maybe I am, and that's your belief. And when you break out these beliefs, that's what's really behind it. So again, you have a choice over how you think about the situation and about what you choose to believe. Some beliefs have been forced on you and you take when you was growing up, but you're adult now. So it's up to you now to go back into your beliefs and modify and verify them and see, like, I believe that that not resonate with me anymore. That's not me. That was my dad. That's not me. You should go and find it. What's going on there? And you have a different mindset. You change your perspective. And hey, I greet people when I walk into an elevator because I think it's polite to do so. But not everyone has the same view, and that's okay. If they don't greet me back, it's not about me, but about them. Any of the following could explain why they didn't return my greeting. Maybe they didn't hear me. Maybe they don't speak English. Maybe they're having a bad day, or maybe just they have believed that they shouldn't talk with the strangers. So you need to question your beliefs, what's going on inside your head, and that will help you to take the situation that was so emotional and detach yourself from it and say, like, okay, it's okay. And the next time the situation happen, you won't get triggered, you won't get upset, you won't take these things personally. And we are afraid what others think of us, right? Most of us do, at least. And the thing is that we can really never ever ever be able to satisfy everyone. We just cannot. And this example is just, in my opinion, perfect example of why you cannot do it physically, why you cannot do it. Take this image, all right? There is a man and a woman, and there's a donkey. First picture, they both ride on the donkey. And what people say, oh my God, two people on donkey's back, poor animal, they abuse it, right? All right, so they change it. So then the guy is sitting on the donkey and the woman is walking. So they're saying, how cruel is, he's letting his wife walk when he's driving or riding, whatever. And then the third picture, okay, so now they swap the places. She's riding the donkey and he's walking. And they said, it's like, how stupid he is by letting his wife taking the ride alone. So they say, okay, fuck it, we'll just walk next to the donkey. And they laugh at them, saying, like, fools, they don't even know how to utilize the donkey. You cannot satisfy everyone because everyone have different views and different opinions, and everyone are from different environments. They put different masks on them, and they have their own beliefs, and it's okay. Because guess what? You don't want to please everyone. You don't want to be friends with every single person. You don't want people to like you. Do you imagine if every single person likes you? That would how your phone would look like. You don't want people to like you. Not everyone, at least. Think about it. Everyone loves you. You're idol for every single person. You come in the shop and everyone's like, hello, yeah, I love you, you're the best. And then you have you walk in the streets, people are, your celebrity, whatever, people are calling to you, asking for photos. And then you realize, shit, I don't have time. I don't have time to physically deal with them. Then you got to go home, you take your phone, like, shit, I got 1,000 messages. Will you have physically time to read them? Will you have physically time to call everyone? Will you have physically time to meet with everyone? No. You are having only so much time in a day. You might have your family, you might have your wife, kids, or husband, kids. You will spend time with them. You don't want to sacrifice as much time with others. So you only select a group of friends that you think are worthy and nurture this relationship. However, there's lots of people who are craving this approval of others, and they want to be liked by everyone. And you physically cannot be liked by everyone. Think about Michael Jackson. People say that he's the best singer ever. Some people say he's awful. Some people he thinks he's rapist. You never can satisfy everyone. People will have opinion. So once you know you don't want to be liked by everyone, and you cannot really satisfy everyone, then the pressure goes off. because you know that it's physically impossible, right? And the best way to do it as well, what you can do, is to change your attention. All right, is to change your attention from me to them, because suffering is me obsessing about me. I, my problems, or I don't have money, or I don't have this, or I don't have time, or I'm really stressed, or I. If you constantly focus on yourself, your attention is on you, you constantly be unhappy. Guess why? Guess what? Because you always have problems and you will always focus on negative. Our brain is wired to focus on negatives because this is the only way how you could survive before. However, now the environment is easier, is better for us. We don't really have to worry that we're gonna die just like that. But now it's taken over, and we are becoming obsessed about ourselves. We become so ego-centered. Me, my word. Oh, yo. So what is the best way to do it? Is change your attention from me to them. The most satisfaction and happiness you'll get is from serving others. Imagine this, it's only so much money you can have. You can't live with 10 houses. You can't have 5 different roast dinners at once. You can't go on 10 different holidays at once. You can't be in Mexico and Brazil. It's only so much that person can consume. It's only so much that person can handle. So change and shift your attention. Shift your attention to others. Serve other people. Help them. Trying to find your own unique way. How can you solve their problems? And you can. That will give you a lot of happiness and joy. Like when I'm doing this presentation, the time disappeared for me. It's already, I look at the clock, so I know it's already, I think 40 or 35 minutes into presentation. But my time for me disappeared because I share what I'm passionate about. And you can do it too. You can try to solve other people's problems. Because guess what? Helping this woman to get up, helping this woman bring her grocery, or I don't know, medications, help this guy, you know, with moving his car or whatever, help him to pump the tire, will make you feel better because you change your attention from you to them. And by solving people problems and by helping other people, your needs will be fulfilled as well. The other really important thing is removing all the toxic people from your life, because that's the choice you always have. You can be in the relationship that is abusive. Doesn't have to be, you know, man-woman relationship. That might be your friends, but this is a choice, the choice that you have. And I know it's hard to remove toxic people from your life, but if you don't do it, they'll bring you down. And I want to be around people who are positive. I want to be around people who are honest. That's my values. And you have to find out what your values are. What do you want to, who do you want to surround yourself with? What are your main values, your priorities? Do you want somebody to be honest, or to be loyal, or to be constantly saying how amazing you are? You have to start answering yourself questions and cut those negative people off, because guess what? If all of your friends are smoking, that is high likely chance that you're gonna be a smoker as well. If your friends are being abusive or being very negative towards you and always talk to you very nastily, you slowly start to think about it yourself, and you start to build you'll never be able to build your confidence this way. And remember, confidence is a huge part of being able to resist and not take things personally. So by allowing those toxic people in your life, and remember this, every single time you say yes to something in your life, you say no to other things. If you say yes to negative friends, to toxic friend, to a friend who doesn't really care about you and bring you down, you say no to this good positive friend that can help you out and push you up. And there is few different mechanisms in your brain that can help you out, and that's That's the resource I found. I found this website and this article very, very useful for my presentation. So this guy talking about social perfectionism is, when you can't stand that thought of other people seeing your flaws or mistakes, when you believe you have to be perfect in other people's eyes, it drives you constantly worry about what other people think of you. And that's quite common. Maybe because the way how you have been what's your upbringing like. It might be because you just always felt this way and you feel like you cannot do mistakes. But perfectionism isn't just a desire to be best. It means we set impossibly high standards for ourselves and possibly for others. That's how we can push them away, that we can never reach. It means we criticize ourselves relentlessly when we make mistakes and see them as fatal flaws rather than natural part of the learning process. Perfectionism means we never feel good enough because we base our self-worth on what we do, what we achieve, and what other thinks of us. So setting up those high standards, you can always be better. And that's what you need to understand. You can always be better. You can always improve. You can always be one step, taller, or one step bigger, or one, more rich or more handsome. You can always improve something in your life. And the whole juice comes from appreciating what you have and striving towards what you want and enjoying the process. If you simply set yourself standards, you constantly cut yourself in a trap because you'll never be good enough for you. Because let's say that's your standards and you're here. Every single time, once you be step closer and closer and closer to your perfection, your overall standards will become different. Therefore, your standards will go up as well. So you will never be able to reach it. So you constantly will be in this cycle like a rat, and you will never find peaceful and happiness. If you're a perfectionist, it's not easy condition to have. It's good if you look for a specialist, for somebody that you can talk to and go through it, because that's taking away all the juice and all the peace that you could feel. And it's up to you. Are you choosing to accepting the fact that you are perfectionist and, oh, I'm no ego, I am labels, I am that person, this is me, this is who I am, I chose to believe that, I can't do anything about it, or I going to do something about it and go to specialists and talk, or learn more information about it and try to overcome this issue, because that is an issue, that is something that's holding you back from being happy. Have it in mind. Negative self-talk. Instead of thinking, let's say somebody criticizes you, instead of saying, I need to work harder at this aspect of my work, you say to yourself, oh, I'm such a loser. Instead of saying, he's disappointed in me at work, you think like, oh, he's disappointed in me. And all this negative self-talk. I don't mind if was because of your upbringing, because of your parents, because of you did it to yourself. Maybe that was a good strategy for you to go and cope, when you were younger, but it is not good for you now. It is bringing you down. All those thoughts you have here, worthless, freak, ugly, pain, failure, pig, slow, hopeless, this is all the truths that you believe about yourself. Doesn't mean they are truth, but means that at this point that you believe it, you believe them. And what is the best way to deal with it is to slowly start to find a positive things about yourself. It might be in the mirror. You can look at yourself in the mirror. You always hated your body, so you make a small exercise when you look for just one thing, small tiny thing. It might be the way how you smile. It might be the way how your eyes are formed. It might be your eyebrows, whatever that you feel are pretty, and you just talk about yourself and you try to find more and more things. Again, negative self-talk and being constantly in this loop of negative thinking is what most people do. And again, ideally is to go somebody who's specialized and can help you out. Counseling now is free. If you say you cannot afford counseling, fuck off. Honestly, if you cannot afford £100, per month to sort your head out and to be more peaceful, then good luck. I don't know what your value are, but I don't want to be around you, man. If you cannot find £100, £25, £50 to go to the gym and train, well, that's your choice. But don't be upset. And that the consequences, it's your choices, and it's the consequences that will happen to you. You know. So the point is that you might feel shit right now. You might feel, and you might constantly have this negative self-talk, but you can fix it. You can change it, and you can completely change the way how you feel and how you think. But the choice is yours. Will you do it? Lack of assertiveness. So there are people who are just the lack of confidence, and this is important concept to understand. Aggressive is when somebody says leave me alone, or when you threat somebody, when you're aggressive, when you're not really nice person, right? Submissive, on the other hand, is, well, I'll do it, okay, never mind. Yeah, of course, I'll take your needs in front of my needs. Therefore, I'll make myself unhappy to make you happy, but you'll never be happy because it's not about happiness. It's not about what I'm doing for you. It's about how you feel about yourself. But I'm trying to do it because I'll try to please you, because I feel if I please you, you will like me back, and I feel better. Pointless. You need to be assertive. And what is assertive? When somebody asks you to do something which you don't really want to do, say, I need a time, how about later? You don't constantly, you don't say no, but you don't say yes. You're saying, hey, I'll go back into it to you. You put yourself on the first place, but not in a wrong way, on the pedestal. I am the best. I need stuff. You just say like, my needs are the more important for you. My needs are more important than yours, but not in a negative way. I still consider your needs, and I still try to help you as much as I can. But I won't give myself, and I won't give my time away just because you need it, or just because you want it, because it's my time, and I need to put myself first and be happy first in order to share this happiness. Because if I'm not happy inside, if I don't feel peaceful, joyful, guess what? I won't be able to share it. So assertiveness is to find this balance between your needs and others' needs and meet somewhere in between. All right. And if you're not a confident person, you need to start building this confidence up by making small changes, by trusting your own word. Most people are not trusting themselves. I'm like this. I'm saying that I'll do something, and I'm not doing it. So I'm slowly starting to say to myself, I can do it. So let's say I want to change. I want to be more confident. I want to say that whatever I'm saying something, I'll do something. So start to every single day say to yourself, okay, today I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock, and just do it. Small steps. Today I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to have a first meal which is healthy, or I'm going to go to work 15 minutes earlier, and just do it. And you slowly build more and more evidence that you are trustworthy, that you are the person who put your words and always stick to them. The same with every single other area in your life. Is how you build confidence. If you feel about yourself, I'm not a confident person, I am not really a person who approach girls, just small step by step, break them down and try to be closer and closer to where you want to really be. So I think that's it, guys. That's all my presentation. So in recap, guys, taking things personally sometimes it's not about you, because you cannot control what happened to you. You can only react how you can only, I think it's a mistake here. Yeah, you can't control what happened to you. You can only react. I'm making mistakes now. What the hell? Yeah, you can't control what happened to you, only how you react to what happened to you. I keep saying that and I forgot. So sometimes it's not about you. Stop saying to yourself, oh, I know what he meant. Stop going inside somebody else's head. Have these beliefs that somebody might not agree with you, and that's fine. Somebody might have a different opinion, and that's fine. Not everyone have to like you, and that's fine. Not everyone have to, you don't have to satisfy everyone, because they might not be, I don't know, they might not be, but there might be people who have really high expectation. Like if you try to satisfy and please somebody who's perfectionist, good luck. you'll never do, and you'll always be unhappy about it. Now, point number 2, it's about you. You have a choice about your thoughts, about the way how you think. And if you think wrong way, if you have a wrong thoughts patterns and you feel shit about yourself or you're not confident, it is your choice of not doing anything to fix the problem. So if it's about you, start to question your beliefs, start to question your head, and start to, if you need, go for help. But not go into specialists, psychologists or psychiatrists. It's not, because something is wrong with you. It's because you're smart enough to take a shortcut, and rather than trying to figure it out yourself, you go to somebody and he help you out in faster. It's like you go into a personal trainer like me to lose weight. Well, I just know shortcuts, and I just know how to guide you easier and faster to get you the results. The same with the counselors and stuff. Just try to go invest and try. If it doesn't work, find something different. Remember that your thoughts generate emotions, which generate action, which generate results. Therefore, what you're thinking of is extremely important. And you have to be really aware of your emotions, not to dive in and not to hold on them so badly. Okay? You have to make sure that even if you allow yourself to, I don't know, to feel these emotions, you will be able to go back into the center and feel peaceful again. Read the books which I gave you about 4 agreements, agreements, and about the Wayne Dyer 10 secrets for rules and success. Point number 4, release all your attachments of being right, of possessing things, of being seen as superior. Start to detach yourselves from these labels. I am this, I am that, this is who I am, this is who I am not. Start again going into the stories that you believe about yourself, and just ask yourself, do I found it true? Is that resonate with me? If not, fuck it. Change it. Find out what your beliefs are and what are your thought patterns, because this is what make you or break you. You can be peaceful at any point, at any time, but it's all about you. It's all about, will you be able to find your way of feeling this way every single day? And again, it's about the practice. The more you practice those things, it become easier and easier for you. So I hope, guys, that will help change your attitude, or it helps you to slowly and shortly build your resilient of not give a crap about what other people think about you, and not to take those things personally. So overall, you can feel this joy and peacefulness state, and you'll be happy about it. So thank you, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I guess I'll see you next time.